So today is April 19th, 2022. I put a tiny bit of makeup on and just a little bit of foundation so that my blemishes are smoothed down or, less noticeable. And I think that's funny that people need all of that fakery in order to engage with someone and to empathize for them. That's the saddest part about life, is that people don't see what's genuinely in front of them. They don't see, that some people have bad days, and some people don't choose to overdo it because they want to express to the world that they're suffering, that they're not doing well, and they're seeking help. Yet, a lot of people don't rationalize that. So they go around hating on people that look like me in my majority of my videos, and people that decide to hate before love. And I've always been the type that loves before hating, because there's always that duality in life. You need hate to balance out that love. So even when I discuss individuals, just the fact that I clarify all of my emotions towards someone is a very honorable thing to do. Is something that is so genuine that you can't find that in this day and age without people trying to be manipulative. I never thought that I would have to publicize my life. I never thought that I was going to be placed into situations where I had to help others live through the atrocities that I've lived through, the hardships, the hurdles. I disclose all of my issues, all of my, what is the word? Conflicts. I disclose it openly and honestly now, because knowing that a lot of other people are encouraging about it, especially one-on-one, face-to-face. But as I was walking into the gym right now, I had a trainer at one of these locations. I had done Zumba at this location with somebody that invited me to go do it. And I'm caught dancing here and there in the big room that they have that's, it's able to be used by anyone when classes aren't in session. So I'll go and I'll dance, and I dance fairly provocatively. I'm fully clothed, mind you. It's just what others perceive. It's what others deem as being sensual or sexual. And I understand that it gives off a bad impression of, say, maybe that I'm a stripper, or that maybe that, I'm trying to do it in order to get attention, garnish attention from all of these people. And in actuality, I'm not. I'm just moving my body in a way that soothes all my aches and pains. And if it is seductive looking, then that's on you. It has nothing to do with me. I'm just engaging my body in different forms, different ways, maneuvering it fluidly in order to get proper blood flow to all of my areas, all of my body parts. I realized the benefits, the health benefits behind dance, behind me, manipulating my body in a certain way. So this very muscular trainer stopped me and he said, "Are you the girl that dances?" And I was like, were you the one that was called into Zumba that day? And I was like, yeah. But I looked disheveled. I hadn't showered, I hadn't washed my hair in approximately 3 days. So it was up in a nasty, disgusting, messy bun when I walked in, and I was in my pajamas still from the last few days. I've not changed out of them. I did wash up and just place them back on. So, by the time, he and I had that, I told him, he said, "Why do you do it?" And I said, he caught me off guard. I didn't know how to respond. I said, well, I dance because it keeps me motivated. In between, I lost a total of 150 pounds during the last few years, naturally through diet and exercise. I don't see the issue in it. I don't see the issue whatsoever if all of these people are walking in and out in essentially their undergarments working out. And yet I'm always pinpointed as being an eyesore, or I'm pinpointed as being, an issue because of the way that my appearance is. And not anything to do with my smell or anything like that. It has absolutely nothing to do with that. I'm actually very hygienic, very cleanly. So the fact that I look disheveled and look offensive, that hurts others. And that is obnoxious. That means that your ego is so huge that your brain is swelling and you're not getting the proper amount of circulation to it, because no one acts that way. I mean, who does that unless you're mentally unstable, to allow others into your mind space and to affect you when they're a complete stranger? They are not doing anything to you. They have not done anything to you whatsoever. And that's why I think it's hilarious that when I dress up like this, people don't rationalize that I've gone through the hardships that I've endured. That they believe that I'm just some fancy, prissy bitch that gets her way all the time. And in actuality, I've been homeless for a year and a half. So, and I can't believe that man, it made me cry last night when he said, when I told him, I'm pregnant, and he was like, yeah, we can see that. And it made me so sad because my belly is so gigantic right now, and it's just getting worse. It's just swelling up more. So when I ended up walking in, like I said, to the gym, he just sort of cut it off from there. That was it. He just wanted to ask me why I did it, why I dance the way that I do, I guess. And I'm thinking, and he said, and I said, well, I didn't ask him if there was an issue with it, but he wasn't very encouraging about it. I mean, he was just like, okay, that's cool, and then just sort of left the situation. Normally I get a lot of encouragement. Normally I get a lot of trainers that are like, holy shit, 150 pounds? I couldn't have done it myself, Once you get to that point of brokenness, you usually can't make it back. So how I interpreted that interaction was that I offend men because they're usually in a relationship where they can't think about other women, and I make them think about things they don't want to think about, and it's none of their business what I'm doing. So first of all, let's mark that. Clearly it's their fault. Clearly it's them in the wrong. So, but then everybody always informs me that I'm in the wrong for looking too provocative, dressing a certain way, and I'm thinking, no, look at all these women that get away with all these things because they have the money to, because they have the finances to keep themselves safe. They have their own apartments. They have all this and that, daddy's money, sugar daddy money, all this stuff. So, and a lot of the women that actually have had to work hard for their things, they don't look like that. They don't look all prissy, fancy, dolled up on camera, on YouTube, on TikTok videos. No, a majority of them are stressed out, have wrinkles, have their hair up in messy buns, are bitchy at the world around them, because that's the reality of it. They have to live around all this working class, and having to deal with them. So in the medical field, all the nurses that I've seen and whatever, how often do you actually get a hot nurse? Not very often. How often do you get such and such, because they don't have the time? They're spending so many hours on their feet or doing whatever at the hospitals that they don't have time to take care of themselves. So physically they let themselves go. And after years and years of progressive self-mutilation like that, self disrespect in that way, then it accumulates. So I'm not sure what everybody's trying to tell me, that I'm crazy. I'm like, no, I'm avoiding stress. That's not crazy at all. I'm avoiding stress. I may not have the finances day to day, but God manages for me. I still have safety for the moment. And that's why I feel like I'm hyper blessed. Because regardless, I'm still going to make it out on top compared to other people, especially the ones that try to demean me for no reason. The strangers that mean nothing to me. And it's like, do you know what karma is? Do you know what that word means? Do you know what goes around comes around? Do you know that saying? That is actually very true, because that's the duality in life. Things have to come back around to even things out. So it may not happen now, may not happen tomorrow, may not happen next year, but I would count my blessings now, especially if you presume that you're going to talk down to others, which I did a few years, when I got cocky and thought, I've got a husband, I've got a baby, nothing will ever happen to me, I'm fine. And then it all just came crumbling down around me because of the insanity of others. Not me. Definitely not me. Aside from me allowing them to get into my mind space, and I took it out on myself and gained all of that weight due to their abuse. So I realize now that I don't need anybody, not a single soul, not even the baby growing inside of me. All he does is kick me and torment me in the middle of the night, just like his father, waking me up to have his way with me. So, yeah, I honestly don't see a lot of positives in life, but I force myself to in order to disengage from this cruel reality that I have to live day to day, and the fact that I've only been used for my body and used so many times because I was cute, that's hurtful, very hurtful, especially because I don't even get that much attention unless I am dolled up certain days and whatever, because people can't see beyond what's right in front of them. They don't listen to words, they don't listen to this and that, they don't see actions, none of it. It's all based on appearance. That's how you get by in life. And that's the sad part, because that's not even rational. That's not even stable mentally. Like, do you not realize that some of the most handsome and beautiful individuals are psychopaths? And that's how they get away with stuff? Like, they literally would turn around and kill you if they had the opportunity, because they would rather take from your reality and give to themselves than to offer back to those around them. And I'm not like that. I would rather show people the flaws in me so that they can understand either you like it, or you accept it, or you don't. And you're part of that side that only sees fake, that only is fake. And that is what you are, fake. And so that's why I purposely do my videos the way I do. Just in my raw form, all this and that. I don't doll anything up. I definitely could find locations where I could make myself look decent and fake everything for you people and do this and that, but I don't. I just disclose what happens to me daily. The abuse. The constant abuse. And, like, if my hair is not coiffed, if my mane is not coiffed in such a way, I don't get the amount of respect that I deserve. So, and why is it based upon that? Why is it based upon every tendril of hair? It shouldn't be based upon that. It shouldn't be based on, the fact that symmetry and this and that. I love symmetry because I'm an artist. I love pinpointing flaws and correcting them, yes. That's also my scientific mind. So I use both sides of my brain fairly well, and not a majority of people can say that. I feel like I've been very blessed throughout all these instances where I shouldn't be alive at this moment, in front of this camera, in front of, divulging my story, so that in hopes that it would reach my daughter, in hopes that she would understand, Mommy didn't do anything to hurt you. Never did she do anything to hurt you. She loved you more than anything, more than her own life. So I realize now that I was taking that too far, and like that I was obsessively trying to maintain her, but didn't maintain myself in the process. and didn't maintain the fact that my ex-husband was cheating on me behind my back. So I knew what he was doing, and sharing his emotional connection with someone else, he would tell me too, no, it's fine for me to have female friends. I tried to explain to him, no, it wasn't. Because if he had female friends, would that make me able to have male friends? No, it was a double standard, and I wasn't allowed to have male friends. So I realized that the abuse was going on and on after so many years, only after all of the divorce, only after getting off of the psychiatric medications that they enforced, the courts and all this and that, saying that I needed help because they didn't see issues with anyone else, because they couldn't catch them in the act of being deranged. And I'm like, wait a minute, that's not fair. My actions are a complete and utter response to their abuse. So if you don't see that, if you don't understand psychology in such a way, then you shouldn't be allowed to govern the courts or the systems, because that's not fair. That's not fair to the individuals that didn't do anything wrong and were caught in that moment of upheaval, that moment of emotional destitution. Because when you are completely alone in life, all around you, that's when the true you comes out. That's when, you realize who are your true friends. And my true friend is God. That's what I tell everyone. Like, God sends me here and there. It may seem like the devil. It may seem like, I'm having all these terrible things happen to me. But I'm blessed in that way. I'm blessed to endure hardships so that I know what true blessings and true love are. And no, I cannot tell you, from my perspective, I've never truly been loved in the way that I should be loved. So I can't express to you what true love is. I can only tell you what it isn't. And that's what I try to disclose to everyone, is that I'm just sharing with you my story because it is scary. It's scary to be all alone in this world. It's scary to not have anybody to talk to when you need somebody, when you need someone to hold you, when you need somebody to just listen or to help you, encourage you. And I used to have pets for that. I used to have, they were always by my side. Even the dog that came up to me yesterday, she, I guess, knew that they were discussing me, and that's why she ran over and played with me for a little bit, and even offered me her toy when I sat down in their office so that they could reprimand me for doing completely nothing wrong. So, existing and looking a hot mess. That's what people hate. And they will literally throw you out of their facility because they feel like you're an eyesore, and they have no idea who they're talking down to. And that's why I wish more rich people, more philanthropists would go around in these circumstances to know where the true deviants are, where the true demons are, and where the true blessings come from. And a majority of that blessings stem from people that have been broken prior, truly broken, with nothing, nowhere to go, no one to turn to. And that's why I convey my story in such a way. That's why I'm so hopeful still, even though I shouldn't have any hope whatsoever, even though there are negative comments swarming me constantly that make no sense. You make no sense. Like, and that's the sad part, because I'm thinking, like, why do I have to deal with this? Go away. Like, I will place my information out there, yada yada. You have no right to sit there and demean, or try to demean and belittle, defile my character, defamate me in any way. So, I just don't understand it. I had thought about a few things while I was resting last night. I couldn't sleep. I'd woken up to go use the restroom at a facility. But I swear to Christ, I will literally go to a facility, dress all pretty like this, just so I can get away with shitting on the curb somewhere and pissing on the curb, and see what they'll do. Oh, I'm sorry. I couldn't make it to the restroom because I wasn't allowed to go into certain facilities because they said that it was inappropriate for me because they weren't getting paid personally. Even though insurance covers me to be at these locations. So there's always a catch-22 to everything. There is. There's always a contradiction. There's always this and that. I still need to contact Anytime Fitness, the corporate office, for what had happened to me. Nobody's going to talk down to me. Nobody's going to expect that they're getting one over on me. No. Just no. And just know also that everybody's going to be watching you from now on. Everybody's going to know you. They're going to know what you've done. I'm going to clarify every single person that has destroyed me, like even through online dating and all that, these different men. I can't wait. I've got a whole bunch of horror stories based around that, and I can tell you a bunch of their names as well. That's why I kept track of this, because it was scarring to me. I had so much trauma. That's why I wanted to write a novel based around Confessions of a Pretty Girl, because, you know, certain aspects of me are pretty. They can get away with fucking me, sure. But then afterward, they're like, oh, she's not that perfect. She's got kind of like a gross neck right here. Oh, I'm sorry, I landed on my head in a vehicle accident and it adjusted the alignment of my neck. So that's why I go around having to realign it constantly, and people think I'm weird, trying to fall off things, trying to do this and that. You shouldn't do that. You're not a chiropractor. I'm sorry, what? I've realigned myself properly just throughout the last couple years. You're not going to tell me anything I don't know. I do it on my own so that I can heal myself. So the fact that people try to stop me constantly from doing things that just come naturally to me, these holistic means of medicating myself, these holistic means of solving my issues, my ailments, I feel very odd that a lot of people are trying to attack me. Why are you trying to attack someone that is just sharing the facts, just sharing the proof, just sharing her story in its entirety? And I don't care if it's bits and pieces are too hard to hear. I don't care. They were too hard to live through, and I still lived through it. And I would love to see any one of you live through half the amount of circumstances and the abuse and the emotional gaslighting that I have sustained throughout these years. That's why I believe I deserve a larger allotment than most. That's why I believe if I were given a larger allotment to get back on my feet, that I'd be able to help others better than this. I don't necessarily even want to put money into the educational systems of going to college so that I can become, be placed in debt. But a certification here and there as a nutritionist or something, I would be able to help all kinds of people. Get to the bottom of the facts, get to the bottom of what's wrong, what's ailing them psychologically as well, that is causing them to have physical ailments. Because it all works within itself, the entire body. It's not just different areas. They all work in conjunction with one another. And if you've got a problem in your brain, if you've got an imbalance or something, you're not going to be able to function properly. And I tell people too, you're not getting enough blood flow to your brain, honey. Like, maybe go get in an inversion table for a while, or crack your back or something, because you're obviously getting crazy all over on your computer and on your phone, all hunched over staring at your screen. Maybe go out to a park or something. I was going to try to wear a dress just now, but I was so exhausted, and I thought half of my dresses were stolen, like my clothing was stolen. And I'm so sad. Like, how am I supposed to look nice for the world? How is the world supposed to accept me if I don't have the tiny few things that I was allotted in life I keep getting stolen from? How am I supposed to help people? And then I realized I help people by being poor. I help people by being homeless. I help people by being all these things that they don't want to do, but they want to watch someone else go through. They want to see. They want to see. They want to sit there and eat their snacks. They want to presume that I've got plenty of my own snacks. I'm good. She's not dying. Look at her. She's got plenty of weight on her. But that doesn't mean that emotional and psychological scars aren't killing me daily. And that's the sad part, is that, I sit here and I convey the truth. I don't hide it for anybody. Like, look I just had a little bit of drip there. I'm not going to hide it for anyone. What am I going to do? Like, when I sit at a restaurant too and I wipe my nose because it's too spicy or something, what's the big D? Rich people would do it all the time with their nasty handkerchiefs that they shove back in their pocket. And then you have to think about, too, all the contaminants that we get just from touching little things here and there. How many contaminants are in my vehicle at this very time because I wasn't able to cleanse it properly in between my travels? So there are dust particles from this place and that place, contaminants here and there, and all these things I think about constantly. People say, well, you need medication to stop that. No, I don't. What is wrong with you? Accept me for who I am and what I do. I am slightly autistic, so no thank you. You're categorizing me with some kind of lumping me with crazies and psychopaths and sociopaths, when in actuality it's all these other ailments. I told everyone. I said I was misdiagnosed. I explained it to them years ago, and now that they've actually had times, plenty of hours of my reactions, plenty of hours of my encounters, plenty of watchful surveillance, all this and that, I have nothing to worry about. I really don't. I mean, I know in actuality that I am not the one causing these things toward me, that it is the world around me that is broken, and that I sit there and I try to harp about it like, are you going to do anything to change that? Like, that's not part of the rules. That, you know, all these things. And people are like, well, you can't eat it in a gym. I'm sorry, what? Why do you sell cookies then? Why do you sell fitness bars then? And I'm literally eating a salad. It would have been different had I had a huge meal of, you know, fattening burger and fries and all this and that, so that I can entice everyone else to go and get, you know, trash food after they were done working out. No, if anything, it probably encouraged them to go get a salad. So that's sad. That's sad that you didn't want your specific gym owned by Ian to have anybody and their story expand beyond them and their reality and their corrupt money. You know, they need that money. They need that money. I accessed their facility 9 times. Oh, Jesus Christ, better call the police. You better get them to tase me too. Oh my God, in and out of your facility, you weren't getting paid, but Anytime Fitness, the corporate office, was getting paid in some form. So technically, that's part of Anytime Fitness, is that you get access to places nationwide. So you discriminated against me, and you persecuted me in particular because of me having a few bad days and parking outside of the facility. That's fucked up. That's not technically loitering. It is accessing the gym. And there's also plenty of truckers that know what I'm talking about, because truckers will park near the gym, go to the gym just to shower up, and then, you know, go back to their vehicle. So you're telling me that because those facilities don't get paid, and especially because they weren't around so many days in a row, oh goodness, and that's why we call you out on this platform here. This is what I do. Call people out on stupidity and inhumanity. That's what my job is in life. And I disclose that to people. I'm not working. Like, this is my job. Survival is my job. And apparently it's survival of the fittest. And I knew that years ago. That's why I didn't get impregnated. I was avoidant of it. And so when you caught me when I was sleeping, that's sad for you, because you had to go to that extreme, because I didn't like you that much. That's sad. That is so sad. Like, you were rejected by me. And no one thinks that I'm that pretty. Not anybody. They see me dolled up. They're like, oh, for a moment, they're like, oh. But then when they realize, oh, look at all those tiny flaws she's got. Oh my God, she's fucking old. Oh my God, she's fucking fat. Oh my God, she's had excess weight on her. Now she's got stretch marks and loose skin here and there. Oh my God, I can't believe I was attracted to that. I know what men think sometimes. I'm not stupid. I actually read people's minds better than some other people, which is kind of funny. And I don't even,